I said I was gonna do it, and I won't let you guys down. Ladies and gentlemen, behold. It's finally here, folks. Bending the Dark Revival. This game has been waiting on for quite a while. And I gotta say, after years of waiting, I'd say that our wait was worth it. I'm gonna be going into a bit of details and my overall thoughts on Bending the Dark Revival at the moment. I have not completed the game currently yet, but I have made enough progress to give my thoughts. Thoughts enough? Enough thoughts to make a review. While Bending the Dark Revival does have some flaws, I'm going to be going over all the positives that this game has. First of all, the story. We first start things off as playing as Audrey, trying to create the Bendy cartoons back in the 1930s. We meet this man named Wilson, and he tricks us into turning on an ink machine, in kind of like the last game. And when he tricks us into pulling the ink machine off, this is where we get into Bendy and the Dark Revival. Audrey comes into the inky world, the inky machine world, into Bendy's world. All the ink creatures are on her now, and she has to deal with ink going on her body. He's slowly pulling her away, trying to not let the ink consume her. While finding some notes about Joey Drew's past, we also get ears from Wilson that there is a stranger in the studio. Bring her to me. This is where Audrey starts to panic, and she tries to find any way out that she can. She encounters her first Butcher Gang member, and she learns the ways of the miracle stations. She runs into Allison, and Allison says that this world is a lot more than what it is, and she needs to be extremely careful around her surroundings. Otherwise, she will be consumed by those who attack her. After a little bit of encountering ink creatures along the way, this is where Ink Bendy comes into play. Audrey has to find her way around the Ink Demon. The Ink Demon is complete. All of his powers are now consumed within his body. Like you saw in the trailer, there's also a little cartoon Bendy he brought to life, and oh boy, yeah. So the good Bendy is a part of the evil Ink Bendy. And the evil Bendy is the evil inside of the good Bendy. She encounters ink creatures like ink spiders and a lot of other things in the studio that she has to deal with. If these things consumes her, she becomes one of them. Throughout occasional moments in the story, you'll notice that Audrey talks to Allison throughout some some megaphone device thing. I can't remember what it's called. I'm sorry. Throughout her adventure, she encounters the man himself, Joey Drew, and Joey Drew tells us later in the game that Audrey was his daughter. He created Audrey. He didn't. He created his wife, and he created his daughter. Pretty weird stuff, right? Yeah, awesome. Joey Drew then confirms with all of us fans that Bendy and the Ink Machine was indeed a cycle all this time. Admittedly, we were told by the developers too, but we theorized about it first, so it's really no big surprise. While crawling through the vents, meeting very familiar faces such as Alice Angel, which I for some reason can't show footage for some stupid reason. I couldn't find the footage for it. And we meet Wilson again. The son of a bitch that dragged us here. Now, Wilson tries to convince us that if we can help him, we can get through this mess. Turns out he lied to us, and he actually uses us for a sacrifice. So what did we do? We murdered the son of a bitch just like he tried to murder us. We wouldn't let him get away with this very easy, now would we? Wilson's monster that Audrey told us about, yes, I did forget to mention that, I apologize. But Wilson's monster tries to attack Audrey, and in order to defeat the monster, we have to hit it multiple times and then and get Wilson's head out of it. But it wasn't just us that defeated the monster. We only hypered his anger level up just so he would let it all out. But who really defeated him was the Ink Demon. The Ink Demon tears the monster up after the monster teared our legs off. Admittedly, it was pretty gruesome. Ink Bendy tells us all about how he can make us strong, how Audrey is nothing just like he is, and how she can become much more. But Audrey wasn't doing this just for Bendy. She was doing it to break the cycle. She led Bendy right to his own weakness without his own will. Unfortunately, during this progress, Ink Bendy kills Audrey's father, Joey, and we never see him again. It's kind of sad, honestly. Joey tried to make up for all the bad things he's done, and he really did. He made Audrey see all the ways. It's really sad. Audrey controls the Ink Demon, and then this is what happens.
Now what?
Need some help?
Henry, you came!
Some battles are worth fighting for.
Oh yeah, Henry, I forgot to talk about him. Yeah. Audrey encounters Henry, knowing that Audrey encounters Henry telling her that he has been here for as long as he can remember. And oh my god, it is gross how long he has been here. Anyways, let's see the ending of Bendy and the Dark Revival.
My father once told me that just because we're born of darkness doesn't mean we belong to it. We're always free to choose. And here, at the very beginning, there's a choice to make. My father's cartoon world was now mine. To rule, to watch over, and to protect. I can make the cycle more bearable for my friends inside. But as for me, I'm the first of my kind. Born of ink, but living in flesh. Joey's world is escaping into ours. So, what's next? Who can really say?
And that was the story of Bendy the Dark Revival. Honestly, it's one of the best stories I've seen in a video game. And it's one thing that this game improves immensely from the original Bendy and the Ink Machine. I can also say the same thing about the art style, graphics, and music. Just perfect. I can't really think of too many flaws with the story other than some slight nitpicks from here and there. If there's any details that I left out, please let me know. Anyways, without further ado, let's get on to the gameplay. Okay, so Bendy and the Dark Revival is an exploration game just like the original Bendy and the Ink Machine. It involves some backtracking, but they made backtracking into a lot more of a fun experience than the original game. Unfortunately, though, the ground combat isn't very good. In fact, I think it's one of the very few things in this game that's actually downgraded from the original. And there's no variety of combat. I think the original Bendy and the Ink Machine showed a massive good variety of combat, but it's not here, which is strange. There could have been so much use for the axe, the syringe. You could have brought in those weapons at the very least back, but you didn't. Why would you do that? Getting into the Ink Demon gameplay, the Ink Demon is like I said before, his power is complete. You have to hide from him in order to survive. If you either encounter him by touching a page, or you encounter him by him looking at you right in the eye. So while the combat is a downgrade from the original, the gameplay as a whole certainly is an upgrade to the original. And the boss fights, despite the combat not being great, the bosses are great. They're really fun. It's just a shame that there's not too many. It's just a shame that there isn't more bosses. I guess they really wanted to make exploration stand out than they ever could. Can't blame them there. Bendy and the Dark Revival also has an upgrading system. You can upgrade your gent pipe as strong as you please. So while there isn't a variety, while the gent pipe is the only item you can use, at least you can make it stronger and stronger, which is a big benefit. You get to explore the city with Cartoon Bendy, a very notable moment and right there. The movements are more realistic than ever before. It isn't just the Ink Demon that you have to be careful with. You have to be careful with other things and not to get on their bad side. My favorite thing about Bendy and the Dark Revival is the exploration. The exploration in this game is so much better than the original Bendy and Ink Machine. It makes the old game look bad. Admittedly, it's still a great game on its own. I just think this game is much better from a technical standpoint. You can collect and collect a lot of collectibles, whether they do much or not, right? And you can eat food to survive. It's more of a survival game, and it kind of reminds me of an open world game, to be honest. Admittedly, I know that's not really the goal, but it just kind of feels like that to me. In the end, what more could I say? Bendy the Dark Revival is a fantastic experience. And funny thing is a friend of mine, Tylerland264, I'll leave his channel in the description, and no problem, buddy. He was not a Bendy fan at all when it came to the first game. Yet he outright loved his experience with Bendy the Dark Revival. I was just as shocked as he was when he enjoyed it. Even fans that aren't a fan of Bendy the Dark Revival love this game. That's how successful this game can really be. And I know this game is a step in the right direction, and this game really does show Bendy's true potential. It really does. And this is what I consider the true Bendy and the Ink Machine. This makes Bendy and the Ink Machine not the Bendy and the Ink Machine. It makes this game look like the real Bendy and the Ink Machine. But in reality, it's Bendy and the Dark Revival. And I love it.